You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Hey, good evening, my friends. Chris Merrill in from O'Kelly, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Listen anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, Mark Ronner, with the news you heard about Eric Menendez, right, was denied parole. And they made a big deal out of him having a cell phone. Didn't he just have that like 6 months ago or something? It's not like this is a pretty recent thing, which I think worked against him. But a lot of people thought he was maybe sneaking this in, or somebody had snuck this in after the Netflix documentary, and there was this momentum that he may get out. And who knows who he was talking to? No idea. But it looks like, I mean, he's been denied parole now, but his attorneys now have an opportunity to appeal a case on facts, blah, 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 legal crap. That's a Bill Handel thing, not a Merrill thing. Not smart enough for that. But I'm curious about what happens now with Lyle Menendez. Mark Thompson in the last hour, I think nailed it when he said it seemed as though the parole board already had a decision. They were just sort of reverse engineering how to get there. Is that what you were getting, Ronner?
Well, you mentioned the cell phone, and I think there was more to it than that. This is from the story that just came across the wire.
All right.
The panel of commissioners scrutinized every rules violation and fight on his lengthy prison record, including allegations that he worked with a prison gang, bought drugs, used a cell phone, and helped with a tax scam. He told commissioner, there's a little more to this that's interesting.
That's prison.
I think the gist of this is that he didn't think he had any chance, and he was just trying to watch his ass until he realized that he had a chance at parole. Then he cleaned it up, according to this article.
Yes!
And that's a rather liberal paraphrasing of the article,
Yeah.
but that does sum it up.
Okay. This is the catch-22 of the parole board, is they go, oh, you got to prison and joined a gang. Yeah, because I got to prison and I was told you have to join a gang or you're going to be man meat for the rest of your life. Although I do think you hit a certain age and all of a sudden nobody wants you in their gang. I thought about this, and I think once you hit, I don't know, late 30s, maybe 40s, once you're in that range, nobody really wants you in the gang.
You've been watching some Oz at home? What are you doing?
No. This is just intuition.
Okay.
I feel like I'm probably an expert without knowing a thing on it. What they call it, an idiot savant minus the savant.
I see.
That's me. But if you were running a gang, let's say that you were running the Ronners.
Yes, in prison, yes.
Yes, the most feared gang in prison, known for shivving people with dull microphones.
And I'm covered with tats.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody knows that about you. You got a lot of tats. You've got. I heard your newscast. It sounded like a Porky Pig tat.
I know. I think I had a minor stroke.
Yeah, that was you. I heard it.
No, it's okay. Please make fun of any medical condition that I may have on the air.
No, that's fine. I did. Actually, I recorded that segment where you goofed. I was running tape on it.
I expect that.
Yeah. Did you want to hear what you sounded like?
No, I really don't.
It was like this. Yeah. Yeah.
I think what's nice about a job like this, apart from being able to deliver breaking news to listeners on the public's airwaves, anytime you do anything wrong, it gets repeated ad infinitum, like
merciless.
I was not born here, didn't grow up here. I'm in my 5th year at KFI, but I mispronounced Fred Rogan's name the first time I came across it.
Oh, boy.
And how many times do you suppose Conway replayed that on the air?
Oh, my gosh.
The answer is infinitely.
A gajillion, right? Yeah.
But Rogan came into the studio and absolved me a few weeks ago.
Like, Frank Rogan or what? Would you Rogen? Oh, no, but what did you call him?
Oh, I just looked at the spelling and pronounced it phonetically. Well, also frenetically. Phonetically is Rogan.
Oh, you're killing it tonight. I love this.
You like that?
Yeah. Oh, Rogan? Because it's got 2 G's.
Well, you should have seen some of the place names when I first got here.
My friend, you are preaching to the choir. I've done radio all over the country, and I can't think of a single city I haven't screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But let's get back to prison, though.
I was going to say,
me running a gang and covered with ink.
And specifically, we're talking about the Menendai. which, again, to Mark's credit, that is a phrase that he coined yesterday, which I actually thought was brilliant.
I can't possibly have been the first to say that. Can't possibly.
It was the first time I heard it.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you credit.
All right, I'll take it.
So they say, well, they didn't even say he joined a gang. They said that he had gang affiliations. You know who else did? Red. Red worked with all the gangs because he was known as a guy that could get things. And that means you have to work with everybody. It is a catch-22 that the parole board has, where they go, I can't believe that you came to prison and then you lived prison life. What did you think was going to happen? Okay, look, I've never done time in a California penitentiary. Thank God.
You buried the lead there. Okay.
I really did, didn't I? But my understanding is it ain't a picnic. It's not a fun place to hang out and spend a couple of years.
And you don't think if you went, you'd be like Rorschach and Watchmen telling them, you're not locked up with me. Wait, how'd it go? What's the phrase?
I'm not locked up with you. You're locked up with me.
Yeah, Thank you. That's how
Mark,
it goes.
Come on,
I
Mark, that was your
I knew what the
moment.
line was.
Come on. No. This is how you know I'd be such a fish my first day in prison.
Yeah, it blows my mind that they, that's like saying, oh, you ate the slop we put on your tray. You sent a man in his early 20s to prison, and then he did prison things. And now you're shocked by it. So, no, I think the parole board was looking to backtrack, because think of all the people that they do parole. Are you telling me that they put people on parole and they were like, we're putting you on parole because you never joined a prison gang? So evidently you get to prison and no one who joins a gang ever gets paroled. Baloney. Absolute bunk.
Well, I'm not sure what people are picturing. Like, everybody's seen the Shawshank Redemption, so they probably pictured that scene with Morgan Freeman telling people, I don't care what you do to me. and the next scene's him on a bus. I
think, Is that what you're supposed to do? I've done the time. You can't do nothing to me.
Yeah.
No, come on. Just baloney. I want to, what was I saying there, Mark? Did you want to?
Okay.
Did you want to help me with that?
No. That's all, folks.
No, get it out of your system. Get it out.
No, that was for me. 100% goofed that up myself. So that's the breaking news. We'll discuss that a little bit later on as we get more and more of the information as it comes in on the Eric Menendez. But what does that portend for Lyle Menendez? And we will probably just repeat the same crap we just said a little bit later on in the show. That said, the other big breaking news today is I guess we get to vote for more of the same.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
God, what have you done? You pink pony girl, and you dance at the club, oh mama. I'm just having fun. The stage in my heels is where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, now that I hear it remixed, I like it even better. Tawala, you want to get that out to the labels and just see.
It's done.
Yeah.
Eric Lozardo has treated us with a special crafted remix.
I like that. Yeah. I also think if we did some auto tune, it might give it a little depth. But so far, that's pretty good. That's pretty primo right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's the kind of quality radio you get when I'm in for Mo. That's just solid. Chris Merrill, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Listen anytime on demand on the iHeart Radio app. There is more breaking news today. This one is not as breaking as the Eric Menendez being denied parole because it happened, I don't know, a couple hours ago. And that is that shockingly to no one, sure enough, we've decided to try to out Texas. Take that, Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas except their electoral college.
The state Senate approving the redistricting proposal, which passed the Assembly earlier today. Now, that triggers a special election in roughly 2.5 months. This will be on the November 4th ballot. This November, it'll be known as Prop 50. California's redistricting fight is in response to Texas, whose legislature passed new maps without letting voters decide. If California succeeds, Democrats could win 5.
Okay, kind of ran those sentences together. Texas approved the maps without allowing their voters to decide. California, you will have a say in whether or not you want to redraw the maps.
Democrats could win 5 more U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterms. Now, we have not heard from Governor Newsom yet. We do expect a bill signing at some point, and then we should hear from the governor directly. We should also probably get another one of those all caps tweets. For now, live in the newsroom, Josh Haskell, ABC 7, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, ABC 7. So there you go. California said, "How dare you, Texas? You can't do that." So this goes back, and I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this in the 8 o'clock hour, because I'm just fascinated by how we all are in this victimhood mentality. Everyone's a victim, right? So President Trump says, "I'm a victim." You can't even say the Democrats. You have to say the libs. The libs are very unfair. They've been very mean to me. And in the midterm election, I'm going to get smoked because they're going to cheat. Not because history always says that the party in charge always loses control of the Congress. It has nothing to do with history. I've never even liked history, never even studied history. I got an F in history, probably the best F ever. But because they're total cheaters and I'm going to get my butt smoked, I'm going to have to try to redraw the maps. It's only fair. They're cheating, so I'm going to cheat too. Texas, will you help me? And Texas is like, yeehaw! Pew, pew, pew! Well, yeah. I tell you what we're not going to do. We are not going to help make sure the kids at Christian camp don't get swept away by floody rivers anymore. Pew, 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 pew! We're going to redraw some maps. Woo! And so they decided they were going to. To which California says, "How dare you, man? That makes us a victim, bro. Like, that's not even fair. You're just trying to steal Congress, bro. That's not cool at all. We're not down with that." And what? Merrill's playing into stereotypes? No. So what we do is we say, we are a victim of Texas stealing 5 House seats. So we are then going to steal them back. It is not at all unlike OJ. OJ was ripping some people off. Some people said, "How dare you, OJ?" And then they went and they took his crap. And then OJ said, "I got to go get it back." And then OJ went and kidnapped people and then tried to get his stuff back. And then OJ ended up doing prison time for that. And OJ was like, "That's not fair. I was a victim." I think we can all agree OJ for his whole life has been nothing but a victim. It's nothing but a vast conspiracy out to get him. That's basically what we did. This is basically what's happening in America is the OJ saga. Only we don't actually have anybody. You know, the liberals wanted to do some terrible things, but we stopped them from doing it, and that's why we have to do some terrible things back to make sure they don't do terrible things. And then California says, "You can't do that to us. We will not allow you to victimize us." This is part of the new get aggressive liberal movement. This is the new brute force liberalism that you are going to see for the next couple of years. If you are a flowers and rainbow liberal, this is going to be a dark period for you. It's going to be very dark. If you're somebody that loves to watch the War of the Worlds between political parties, this is going to be grand. And the craziest thing about all of it is, at no point does it cross anyone's mind to say, maybe we should slow things down a little bit. At no point do the people in Texas say, this is, we're not really keen on this. This sounds like a you problem. Quit screwing with our country. This is party fighting. We don't care. What we care about is what the prices are at the grocery store. When I go to Walmart Am I going to be able to afford what I need at Walmart? I already can't shop at Target. Kohl's is completely out of the question. And don't even get me started on Dillard's. I got to be able to afford Walmart. And you've got the Republicans in Texas going, no, we've got to keep control. We got to make sure we get those tariffs in a bigger, beautifuler bill. Pew, 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 pew. And you've got the California liberals that are like, this is totally unfair, man. Not cool for us. What if we wanted to have power too, bro? No, we don't care. We want our equate items to stay low priced. But that's not what they're worried about. Because they're all worried about portraying themselves as a victim so that they can maintain power, ironically enough. I'm getting worked up. I need a drink. Ronner, take the news. I'm going to go get some booze.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're having a great evening. Chris Merrill in from Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. You can listen anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app. And I believe we're looking at releasing that single. It's a cover of Pink Pony Club. Hopefully available for downloads and streams soon. I know Tawala's working on the licensing to make sure we get all of our royalties out of that. So we'll get that out as soon as we can. I was just discussing how frustrating it is when we have the politicians are more worried about who's going to get 5 seats in Congress, with Texas saying we're going to steal 5 seats from the Democrats, and then California saying, no, we're going to steal 5 seats from the Republicans. And all you're doing is dividing the country even more, one district at a time. And the politicians do not care, because the goal of a party is not about serving the people. It's about maintaining power. That is explicit within the party. It's not even a dirty little secret. It's just the way that it is. And I don't even mean that in a condescending way. That's how the system works. The parties try to maintain power, and they claim that it's because they have principles and they have to stand up for their people. But the truth is, it's about the parties maintaining power, because the political parties are a business that have written themselves their own tax deductions. I talked to a politician one time, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because you've heard him. But I talked with this politician behind the scenes one time, and he was working sort of as a consultant / lobbyist before he got back into public office. And he said, this is where the money is. This is great. It was like he was saying the quiet part out loud. Not publicly and on the air, but he was saying it to, me, who's got a big mouth. And he says, this is where the money is. And I thought, the whole system is such a scam. Meanwhile, are they worried about our grocery prices? No. Are they worried about the price of our back-to-school stuff at Walmart? No. You know who is? A guy that used to be a politician. Mike Pence was on News Nation talking about the tariffs. And he has to be a little bit careful because he doesn't want to catch the wrath of Trump. But they did ask him about the tariffs, and he went back to that old, I don't know what you want to call it, establishment rhino attitude of saying he doesn't like high taxes.
I'm somebody who believes in less government and less taxes.
It'd be fewer taxes, I believe.
And tariffs are taxes. I mean, American businesses and American consumers pay American tariffs. And I must tell you, the fact that the administration put out a panel yesterday boasting of the fact that they'd collected $150 billion more in taxes than this period of time during the Biden administration was quite striking to me, because those taxes, those tariffs are coming from the American people. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to show up in our economy and have negative effects. Okay. Now, that painting's not wrong. Okay, but everyone around the president there was a protectionist. Every one of those people was president before we had an income tax. And the reality is, that was a time when we financed our entire government.
So he's talking about going back to the pictures of the presidents who all had tariffs in the past.
Based on tariffs and duties. Okay. And now we finance our government by individual and business taxes, a very small amount from tariffs. And I think at the end of the day, the American people are more and more understanding that it's our companies, it's our businesses that are paying the tariffs. And so,
all right. So you get the point. These are all excise taxes. And I don't want to get too wonkish on this, but you really come to a choice. How are we going to collect money for the coffers? You can argue over how much money is being spent. You can argue over whether or not the money is being wasted. You can argue over whether or not the Doge cuts were too severe. That's a different argument. But where does the money come from? And as Pence points out, in the past, tariffs is where we got a great deal of our money. It was also before the country really took off as a world leader. Right? We were here, but it wasn't until after World War I that we really put our mark on the world. I mean, we had, the Industrial Age, World War I, all coming about the same time. Industrial Age a little before that. But suddenly, we were a player. We were no longer just this very vast agricultural nation. We were a player. And so we also had debt after World War I, and that's when we end up developing the income tax. And so we decided from that point forward, the income tax is going to supplement what we had for tariffs. And then we found out as we lowered tariffs, it made businesses more effective. And this has been the principle of conservatism for the last 100 years, and that is low taxes, low regulation, business-friendly, capitalistic-friendly is going to make our country more prosperous, and everyone will receive some of that prosperity. A rising tide lifts all ships. But now what we're doing is we're saying, wait a minute, maybe we should take our system back 100 years. It's not wrong. It's just that you're taking it all back and you're trying to cut taxes at the same time, but this is a very painful period. There's no way to do it without pain, which is why you've got all these companies that are saying, we're going to have to run the prices up, like Walmart. Walmart says the tariff impact is gradual, but it is starting to change customer behavior. Weekly costs are rising as inventory cycles through at post-tariff levels. That according to the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon. He said it will persist through the rest of the year. We're not seeing dramatic shifts the way things have played out so far, he said. But any behavioral adjustments by the customer have been somewhat muted. Not surprisingly, we see more adjustments in middle and lower income households than we do with higher income households, which means the tariffs are affecting the middle and lower class more than they are affecting that top 10 or 20%. That's what's happening. So all this bluster about how we're going to get the country out of debt and we're going to help expand the middle class, we're not seeing it. There is no way to do it without pain, but unfortunately, the way that we are going about it is affecting the people that don't have additional disposable income. So even if you go, we should get away from all of the income taxes and we should go to a tariff-driven and excise-driven system, that's fine, but it is regressive. But it also doesn't help when you have grocery stores that are raising prices and then blaming the government. Totally normal. If you're running a business and you got to raise your prices, how do you blame somebody else? Always. Listen, customers, we want your loyalty. It's not that we're jacking prices. It's that the politicians have left us no choice. Walmart says there's no choice. We have to raise prices because of the tariffs. And now you've got grocery store chains in California that are saying that because of the Senate bill that wants to improve working conditions for employees, the grocery stores are saying, well, this is going to cost people at the register. So, if you want to mandate that self-check stations are manned and that there's limitations to how many items can go through a self-check, because we've all been behind that person that brings 2 carts worth of groceries through a self-check, and they're terrible, and they move very slowly. Now you've got grocery stores that are like, I don't know how we're going to pay. We're going to have to raise our prices because we're going to have to pay people, and the last thing we want to do is pay people. And it's baloney. Straight up baloney. Because what do we know about these self-checks? A number of companies are getting rid of the self-check stations because it's costing them more money. Loss is higher because of the self-checks, and they're going back to individual checkouts. And yet when the state of California says you have to have a manned checkout, you can't just have self-checks. You have to have a manned checkout. Now, I'm not saying that this is a place the government should be sticking their noses. Frankly, they shouldn't. Let the business run the business, get out of it. But if the business is throwing a fit, and watch my mouth there, if they're throwing a fit because the government says, you have to have people there when customers are trying to check out, and they go, this is going to drive inflation. Baloney. You were already getting rid of self-check stations because it was costing you too much. So don't tell me that suddenly it's going to cost you more that you can't have them. talking out of both sides of your mouth. I just can't stand it. When did honesty die? When did that happen? When did it die? When did accountability go to the wayside and it just became, who will believe my BS? How much can I get away with? How much can I throw crap at your face and you'll swallow before you say it tastes like poop?
Shame on you.
Thank you. Oh, bad news. Well, maybe good news based on how pissy I am tonight. It's possible we're all dead very, very soon. I'll tell you why. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Did you see the crime stats out of D.C. today? Mark, did you see those crime stats?
I haven't.
Well, they went up today. When Trump went out on the street, because there was another felon out there. They had to, oh, sorry, we got more felons on the streets.
You're not dragging me into this.
Yep. Just trying to hang out to dry.
No, I appreciate the effort, but you could replay the cartoon noise again, though.
Oh, do I still have it?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
I was hoping you wouldn't take the easy one.
Oh, I didn't want to do that to you. Let me see. Oh, Chris Merrill in from O'Kelly, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Listen anytime on demand. The iHeartRadio app. There, got it all in there. Oh, bad news.
For those of you just joining us, we are all going to die.
Yeah, it seems that it's back. Every few years, we get word that Black Death is upon us.
For both visitors and residents of South Lake Tahoe, it's shocking to hear about a case of the bubonic plague.
Ah, crap. NBC News with a report.
That was very news to me, and that's scary.
But the cases are rare. But they do occur.
Heather Orchard, the nursing manager for El Dorado County Public Health, says plague bacteria are commonly found in higher elevation areas. It's carried by rodents and often transmitted by fleas.
So this person was...
Okay. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Bitten by a rodent? Or does this person have fleas?
Fleas.
Fleas? Going to fleas?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to say tried to pet the squirrel.
Pet a squirrel?
Not a euphemism. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to guess they tried to pet a squirrel.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? But I'm thinking they were walking around, probably la-di-da.
What other rodents do they have
on there?
What other rodents do they have in Tahoe?
I mean, do they have...
They got chipmunks, mice, rats.
I thought it was going to be mosquitoes or something.
Do they have... No.
I don't know if mosquitoes can spread the plague. Can they?
No.
I mean, they can spread a lot of things.
Yellow fever, but not the plague.
Yeah.
Do they have beavers?
No. Beavers? No.
In Tahoe, do they have beavers? That's a rodent.
Actually, I've never been to Tahoe, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to take it. I don't think anybody was trying to pet the squirrel. Somebody was trying to pet the beaver. That's what I'm going with. All right. You say fleas. I say pet the beaver.
Camping in an area in South Lake Tahoe and was bitten likely by a flea.
Because don't fleas, isn't that what took out Europe? Wasn't it the fleas on the rats?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bubonic plague. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the plague.
Although
I mean, not that I was there, but I remember what it was about.
I genuinely think, I could be completely wrong on this, but I also think it was spread through some of the rodent feces, and I think it was getting into the food sources.
Also,
or the water
throwing
source.
Feces out the window into the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was
sanitation was not up to par back then.
No.
That person is now getting medical treatment and recovering at home.
A lot of the symptoms are very common: nausea, vomiting.
When they get medical treatment, do they also get a collar?
That was funny. Wait, what?
Muscle aches, a bite that they may have noticed.
While these cases can be serious, they are curable.
It's treated with antibiotics and it's early identification.
The last human case of plague in El Dorado County was in 2020, but officials are routinely tracking it.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine going through COVID and you end up getting the plague?
Ooh.
Right? The last one was in 2020. So you're masking up, you're keeping your distance, you're not going out, you've basically quarantined yourself, and somehow you end up with the plague. Talking about a bad year.
So far this year, 4 rodents have tested positive in the Tahoe Basin.
We should have something letting people know that, hey,
don't pet the beavers.
Be careful, wear something. We should make some aware to people.
Still, there are a lot of questions from people who frequent the area.
Yeah. Is this the only place it's been happening?
About a disease they first read about in their history books and the latest person to test positive.
All right, NBC News with that report about the damn plague is back. This is actually coincidentally the second time today that I've talked about the bubonic plague. When we got done with the show yesterday, I don't know, Twala was giving me grief about something I said. I said something, and he said, that's not very alpha. And I said, I'm beyond alpha, whatever is beyond alpha.
I didn't challenge your alphaness. That was Mark the challenge.
Yeah, that was me. Mark did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I apologize to Walla. No. But here's what I was thinking. I don't know why I woke up thinking about it this morning. I go, what is bigger than alpha? And then it dawned on me the kids say sigma is better. Right, sigma. Oh, that's so sigma. Right, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But before it dawned on me, I thought we should start our own slang. And I thought of a good one. I thought peak. Oh, I'm not alpha. I'm peak. No, it works. Because you have peak oil, peak pollution, peak whatever. It's like, ooh, I'm peak. Nope. Somebody take that buzzer away from Robin. So I am peak.
I'm down with peak.
Stop it.
I'm down with peak.
Peak?
You don't like peak? What's wrong with peak?
So
peak perfection.
I was sharing this with a friend of mine at work. And I said, what do you think about peak? And he's like, peak works. Peak works. And then he said, hey, the bubonic plague is back. And he said, we should use bubonic to mark something that is massive or basically think of bubonic as the new epic, right? Taylor Swift is coming here. Traffic is going to be bubonic, right? We could use bubonic as our new, instead of Carmageddon, get ready, bubonic traffic this weekend.
Well, you're sounding rather bubonic at the moment.
KF.
We're going to go straight to the news.
KOST HD2.